Well, hello there and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you're having an excellent day. Welcome to the first episode of the System Shock 2 Psi-only challenge on hard difficulty, not impossible difficulty. Why hard and not impossible? Two main reasons. Been a long time since I played System Shock. It's been a while and I don't particularly feel like having my cashews crushed, if you feel what I'm saying. And secondly, I've never finished System Shock using Psi-only powers, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge, trying to get the whole Psi economy down. Anyway, that's what we're going to figure out. And the rules for this particular run are I can only buy Psi powers and stat upgrades, so I'm not allowed to purchase skills or weapon upgrades. They're completely ruled out. And all damage I do must be done with Psi powers or it must be environmental damage, so no wrench for Blondie at the start of this challenge, or anywhere during this challenge. Not allowed to use melee at all for anything. Gonna have to rely on Psi powers only. It's going to be an interesting run, people, so hopefully you stick around and see how it all shakes out. I had fun putting it all together, and I did have a little bit of a playthrough before I started this recorded run, just to re-ingratiate myself with the System Shock world. Let's get into it. Hard difficulty. Now I'm going to include cutscenes in the videos as well, just for people who haven't played System Shock so they get the context. Let's get it.
Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine? In 2072, a rogue artificial intelligence known as Shodan lost her mind. In her limitless imagination, Shodan saw herself as a goddess, destined to inherit the earth. That image was snuffed out by the hacker who created her.
February 3rd is the day the magic happens. The Von Braun, the first starship in history capable of traveling at faster than light speed, will undertake her maiden voyage. This incredible journey is the result of teamwork between the UNN Protectorate and the incredible scientific minds at the newly relicensed Tri-Optimum Corporation. Imagine being able to travel to distant star systems in a period of weeks. It's all part of Tri-Op's commitment to the future. The Von Braun is packed with over 1.8 billion flight, scientific, and security systems, nearly all developed by Tri-Optimum and its wholly owned subsidiaries. Providing security for the Von Braun as she plows through the heavens will be the UNN Rickenbacker. At her helm will be no less than Captain William Bedford Diego himself, hero of the Battle of Boston Harbor during the Eastern States Police action. This incredible union of government and corporation is made possible by an intricate series of docking mechanisms that will allow the Rickenbacker to piggyback its way into jump space. Sleek, fast, revolutionary. Who knows what wonders await our crews in the bosom of the cosmos? All we do know is that it's a great day for mankind.
As a UNN Von Braun, we've been hijacked by an unknown force. Ship security has been compromised. Do not allow the ship... Repeat, do not allow the ship to leave under any circumstances. I don't know what we're up against here.
And in
Welcome to the Ramsey Center UNN
talking.
recruitment facility. Please watch your step when leaving the train. The grav shafts at the end of the hall will take you to the street-level training and recruitment center. Please proceed to the grav shafts.
Thank you, Anonymous Voice. In case you didn't recognize the voice announcing the intro there, the commentator, that was none other than Stephen Russell of Thief fame. That's right, Garrett himself voiced, and he actually appears quite a number of times, a number of characters throughout System Shock 2, which is pretty awesome to see, to be honest. Let's get into
Step into the grav shafts to proceed to the street-level recruitment.
Every time I want to talk, there is more talking. I will stop talking when the talking happens. I'll do my best to do that without getting too annoyed. Now, there is no reason to come out into... If you're new to System Shock, I will go over some of these systems and things, but there is no reason to come out into here other than just environmental storytelling. There's a cool little kiosk here that serves food and stuff. All you really get is a view in here. Take a look at these people because they are the only real-life people you're going to see pretty much the entire run. There will be the odd outlier, but this will be as alive and happy as they will ever get. Hello.
Before you choose your career, you'll want to learn some basic abilities.
I
First, you should go
really
to the
don't want
basic
to.
training center. When you're
So-
done with basic training, proceed to the advanced training area.
Thank you. When you first come into System Shock, if you're a new player, I absolutely encourage you to go into basic training and advanced training. They go over all of the... It's basically a tutorial of sorts. Teach you how to use items, pick up weapons, recharge things, etc., etc.
If you've completed basic training,
We are skipping
here's
all
where
of
you
that.
make your choice, soldier. Here's where you enlist in one of the 3 branches of the military. Once you decide on your branch of service, there's no going back. A shuttle will take you to a UNN orbital space station, where you'll receive a briefing regarding your yearly postings. Good luck.
That is a lot of talking. Thank you very much. We have 3 choices, but there is only one choice for a Psi-only run, and we are going with the OSA. This is basically a Psi exclusive, not super exclusive, but exclusive enough Psi path. Space powers, wizard powers. Love it. Navy is kind of a mix of technology and weaponry, and Marines, well, that pretty much speaks for itself. If you like weapons and guns and all that sort of stuff, the Marine choice is definitely you. We're going the OSA path. Okay, so now that we're locked into the OSA path, we have a number of years of, air quotes, training to complete. And what that basically amounts to is the skills and abilities that you are going to choose to start your game.
The OSA welcomes you to Orbital
Thank
Station
you.
Chunlo.
Goodbye.
Ready yourself to feel the limitations of your mind slipping away.
I can't get into any of these
We will
areas,
guide your path over the next 4 years.
but you can still see people. Mission selection. It's really cool that they've disguised how you get your starting abilities and stats as kind of glorified training missions. You don't actually do anything in these missions. You just select which path you want to go down and you get those stats. So we've got the sensory deprivation
The
tank.
sensory deprivation tanks aboard the TOS
That
Chulun
gives
are
us
modulated for
a
your
handful
training.
of things.
You shall
She's going to
spend a
continue
year
talking
in
over me.
contemplation of mass, both yours and that of objects, until you can bend them to your intentions. The sensory deprivation
I am
tanks
going to
aboard the
choose this
TOS
one.
Runang await you. A year in meditation on the nature of matter will grant you.
This is the little splash screen that you get. I mean, the cutscene is pretty much just filler, but it is kind of cool to, you know, see you head off and go and get your training. So what I've got from that is Tier 2 side disciplines unlocked, and I've got Tier 1 side discipline cryokinesis and kinetic redirection unlocked as well. They will be important. Then I choose my next year, which is the next ability choices. This
Your
gives me
body
plus
has
2
been
endurance.
neglected in your
This one gives me
Dr.
plus 1
Chandra's
research,
Salon's
but the one
research
we're
lab.
really interested in is plus
Sifting
2
the
psionic
thoughts of
ability.
treachery and disloyalty
As a Psi
from the
user,
morass of
this is what we
emotion
want.
and eternal.
Again, it tells me, just gives me a little blurb here, a bit of splash text, flavor text on what exactly happened, and I get plus 2 psionic ability, which is going to be super important for this run. And finally we get into the third year, which is now, keep in mind that you can skip a lot of these cutscenes and stuff. You just choose your path and you can skip everything and get straight into it. Let's see what we've got
Many
here. Remote
threats to
electronic
security.
tampering, I don't want.
In the grand
Neuroreflex
scheme,
dampening,
acts
and
of political
psychogenic agility.
terrorism
That
and
is what I
corporate
want.
coercion disturb corporate and political stability. You shall spend a year.
And more splash screen. Okay, so from that one we gained plus 1 strength, plus 1 agility, and plus 1 cybernetic affinity. You get some permutation of these kind of boosts, regardless of which path you select on the 3rd year. And you also get another special ability. I've chosen level 1 or tier 1 psychogenic agility.
Reinitializing memory strings. Restoring patient memory. Restoring memory. Restoring memory.
Steady yourself, soldier. This is Dr. Janice Polito of the computer ops staff of the Von Braun. You're safe for the time being. You're recovering from the effects of surgery and will be unable to remember any of the events of the last few weeks. You're on board the starship Von Braun and something's gone very, very wrong. Some kind of force has hijacked this ship. That's why you volunteered to be implanted with some experimental cybernetic implants. Rely on your cyber interface. It just might save your life. You must find an elevator and come up to Deck 4 to meet me. Deck 4. Can you remember that? But keep your eyes open. They're after us both now. Watch out. I'm getting strange readings from that radar dish outside the window. It's become unstable due to... Move!
Yes, thank you.
Take cover!
Do love the atmosphere in System Shock.
Critical decompression hazard in the cryo recovery suite. Evacuate immediately.
She's going to tell me... Nope, she's not. Okay, good. She's going to wait till we go up. So, we've got this lovely piece of debris which has conveniently fallen across the ladder, which I need to get up. Ordinarily, you're encouraged to come in here, search this body, and pick up a wrench. We can't use the wrench. This is a psi-only run. So, we're going to have to use our psi power. I'm going to cycle through the 3 abilities that I got from all of my training: psi pull, agility, and cryokinesis. Cryokinesis is going to be our primary attack for a little while. There we go. Up we go. And more explosions.
The entire sector is depressurized. Your shield won't last long. Get through a secure airlock before you're sucked into space. Move it!
Pretty certain that despite this missive, you could stand here for the next half an hour and nothing would really happen. It's just kind of a nice way to ramp up the tension. Okay, we've got ourselves a log, which we will have a look at when the alarm stops blaring. We'll just get through. Actually, no, we do need to have a look at it. Let's check notes. Nope, I'm going to have to read this.
Great.
45100.
Codes out of cryo A again. Like I've got nothing better to do. I think Grassy just likes to make work for me.
I've always loved this moment. But if you have a look here, you see there's a body here.
That should be easy enough to remember.
I always assume that when this guy shot, that was basically who he killed, but that's not actually true. She still continues to go through the door and he chases her. It sounded like he took damage then. It's odd. Always thought that was a little bit of smoke and mirrors, a bit of trickery, because you come in and you see this and you're standing here and you see both of them run past, and yet if you look back this way, there's actually a body here, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be hers. Smoke and mirrors.
Warning. Decompression event imminent. Please move immediately to cryo recovery B.
And down we go.
Decompression
Whoop.
event imminent.
Don't worry too much about that.
This power cell is dead. There should be a recharger nearby. Just use it and it will
Already
recharge
ahead of
all
you.
Good. You've managed to get out before the whole area depressurized.
Okay, we'll wait for her to stop talking.
I've just uploaded you some cybernetic modules.
Ooh,
You
candy.
can use them to upgrade your cybernetic rig at the
And
upgrade
it-
units in this area. There are 4 types of units in the next room. 1 for each subsystem of your cybernetic gear. Stats, psi, weapons, and tech.
Thank you.
But use the modules carefully. They're hard to come by.
Apparently. So what she's given us is cybernetic modules. For those of you who haven't played System Shock 2 or aren't familiar with the general structure of the game, or it's been a while, cyber modules are basically your upgrade points. The more of these you have, the better off you are, because you want them for all of your stats, all of your tech, all of your combat skills, and most importantly for us, all of these psionic disciplines and abilities that you can unlock. So they're basically, you try and get your hands on these whenever you can. What I picked up in that crate before is nanites. That is basically your in-game currency. You use it at replicators to purchase a whole bunch of gear, which we'll find out soon. There we go, we've got more nanites. We'll be collecting as many of these as we can. They will become fairly important. And because I know the game relatively well enough, I'm grabbing those items up there. You can actually get them a different way, and you could even get them using psi pull from this area up here, which we will get to very shortly, but it is a waste of psi power for this purpose. Not going to bother. Okay, so here are our upgrades. For these to finish. Okay, we've got more cyber modules, which is great. Now there are 4 panels. 4 upgrade components that you can spend your cyber modules on. There is the stats, psi powers, weapon skills, and tech skills. Now, as I stated before, we are not going to be using tech skills or weapon skills at all. If I show you those in the MFD, you can have a look at my skills. Tech skills, nothing. None learned at all. I've not spent a single point in these, and nor will I throughout the entire game. Combat, same deal, not allowed to spend points here. I will be spending points in psi, and I will be spending points in stats. You can see that I've got a psionics of 3, which to begin with is actually really good. There are a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, it increases our damage output. We are going to do a bit of exploring while we're here. Okay, we got some more nanites. I will play logs whenever I can as well, so let's get one of these playing.
Hey Doc, a security bot showed up with orders from you to place this grunt into the recovery freezer. I'm no cyber doc, but I know a plant job when I see one. I suppose you...
Uh-oh, I think I just cancelled that. Whoops. There we go. Knew it was something like this. Let's play that again.
Hey Doc, a security bot showed up with orders from you to place this grunt into the recovery freezer. I'm no cyber doc, but I know a plant job when I see one. I suppose you know they outlawed R-grade cyber goodies after that fiasco back on Citadel Station. But hey, I just work here, right?
They're talking about us. They're talking about us. We got legal upgrade implants. Oh yeah, baby. This is where the items were sitting, up on this ledge here. I think it might have been that ledge over there specifically. I could have used psi pull, and there will be some areas where I will use psi pull, but largely speaking, it's not really worth it. Not when you can find other ways to do what you need to do. Alright, this guy has a psi amp. We already have one equipped, so we can safely ignore any of this sort of junk. There's nothing else in here. These are the cryo tubes, more cryo tubes. This is the way out, and as we move forward, there will be an apparition, which I do love this aspect of System Shock. I think it adds a lot of atmosphere when you see ghosts running around. Check it out.
Can somebody let me out? I can't find my card. Please, let me out of here.
Really does add a lot to the atmosphere and lore, and in this case it even guides you. So normally I would need to go and search for a key card. Like now.
Access needed.
So it tells me that the key card will be around here somewhere. Okay, that's a med hypo. We definitely need one of those. Thank you. There it is. Card. More nanites. most importantly, shotgun pellets, which I don't care so much for. We're not using those. Come on, let me pick it up. Let me pick it up. There we go. Psi-hypo. That is what we're after. These things are very rare early on, and the early game is very much going to be trying to be as efficient as possible with our Psi usage. Okay, now that we have the card, we can open this. I'm going to quick save while we're here. Quick save, you can hold Alt and press S. Nice little shortcut. Very easy to do on the keyboard. Nice little tip. There we go. Alright, this is the beginning of the game right here, really. But we have cyber modules to spend. We are absolutely going to do that, because there is one ability I need to get straight off the bat. It's a level 2 ability. It is called Localized Pyrokinesis. We have 8 cyber modules. We need 6 cyber modules, sorry. So that is perfect. Bang. That ability is going to stick with us for a lot of the game. Very handy ability. Which is weird, because if you go into a lot of the wikis, they tell you that this ability is virtually useless. I've found the complete opposite. And I'll explain why. Yes, something is out of place. Please come and get me.
Well done. I'm uploading some more modules.
Alright, we have more cyber modules. We are under attack! We're using localized pyrokinesis. There we go, baby. Now let's find the other guy. He was up here somewhere. There he is. Hello, friend. Oh yeah, baby. This is the power of the pyro field. Now, for stuff that I would like to keep, put that here. Alright, that can go there, and researchable stuff can go here. Now, I have the music turned down a little bit. I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit, because I do love the music. I think it's a core part of the experience. I could not play... Is that going to be too much? I can't play without the music. I love it so much. It's so good. This would not feel like System Shock if I couldn't load into the game, into the first level, and hear this music play. It's so good. I know it's a catch-22, right? I don't think the music is appropriate for the tone of the level, but it is so iconic that I cannot switch it off. It gets me into the System Shock mood. Okay, we've got another thing here. Now you see there's a crate here, a security crate. These are hackable, as you can see here. I have 0 hackability, and I will have 0 hackability for the entire game. So these are locked out for us. Inaccessible. Same with the security stations. I can hack these to switch off cameras and alarms. Going to be completely off limits for us. Alright, now, one of the core things that we need to be doing fairly frequently is... I need to separate these out in an intelligent way. Wow, I can barely see that. Separate these out in an intelligent way, because some of them will be useful a bit later on. All of the stuff that I'm compiling here will be useful, and it will be used, but it's kind of reliant on certain things. Now, let's get into the level stuff. Jump scare, thank you very much. Shat myself twice when coming across that. Come on. That was wasted. Ouch.
Damn. The power outage has also taken out access to this bulkhead. It's the only way to get to the medical subsection. Pick up the battery from the floor and find a recharger. The one you used before is in hard vacuum now, I'm afraid, but there should be another one on this deck. Once you get the battery recharged, place it in the auxiliary override.
Thank you. Alright, the MFD gameplay we don't need. It's got no use for us at all. It's a bit of silly fun, really. I do have a couple of logs here. Alright.
Why is it that no one listens to me? The security protocols on the Xerxes system are clearly immature. Some idiot hacked into the primary data loop last night and made Xerxes sing Elvis Presley songs for 3 hours. I finally had to pull the voice subsystem offline. What would happen if someone with a real agenda got into him?
I do love these logs. I don't care what anyone says about logs in games. I freaking love them. They're fantastic. Potted plants. There are a lot of clutter in some of these levels. Some of it can be useful. Things like potted plants are absolutely not useful at all, but they do serve a purpose later on once you get the recycler, which in this run will be a fair way into the run. So I am going to collect a lot of this extra junk, and that will be part of the core challenge, juggling all this stuff. Now I'll continue to do things while this plays out.
Marie, I've got to restrict access to engineering until we can figure out what to do down there. It's just too hot. I don't know where all the hazard suits went, so I'm reduced to bringing down an armful of rad hypos. Those damn things always give me a headache.
Something.
Hello, friend.
Six, you'll find a quantum bio-reconstruction device. Xerxes shut them all down, but I've discreetly put them back online. You'll need to interface with each machine locally to provide a quantum entanglement sample. Once you do that, the device will be able to rebuild your body essentially from scratch. It's not pleasant, but it's preferable to slow decomposition.
She's funny. This is basically your hard save point here. If you die at any point in the level, you would respawn here. And I think on Impossible, if you die and you don't have one of these active on whichever level you're on, you're permadead. It's basically insta-death. Run over. I always found these models super creepy, man. A lot of the crew that are dead have this horrified look on their face. It is creepy, man. Absolutely part of the atmosphere. These faces always creep me out. The look of absolute horror on these faces. Love it, love it, love it.
I got called up around 0430 to help unload the shuttle coming back from Tau Ceti. Kerenskin was there alone. Jesus, what the hell happened to him? He'd lost most of his hair, and you could see these lumps on the side of his neck. And that smell. I told him he should go see Dr. Watts, but he told me to mind my own business. La-di-da.
Come on, let me in.
This is Xerxes. Please report any unauthorized database interactions to your direct superior. Remember, a smooth operation is everybody's responsibility.
Remember Citadel. Someone had enough blood in their body to scroll that on the wall.
God damn. Somebody's hacked into this thing again. I'm gonna tell Delacroix.
Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to disturb you there. Weapons are useless to us. This one's in very good condition. But the only reason we're picking them up is if they have ammo, as indicated in the top right-hand corner here. If you right-click them, you get this option, this window that comes up. And if you click unload, you can take out however many bullets they still have left. That guy is basically toast. Now, this is the replicator that I was speaking about before. These are scattered all across each of the levels.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
And this selection is kind of garbage. I'm not really focused on that, but this is where you'll spend nanites. You'll spend them as currency to basically generate whatever items are available. You'll only ever have 4 items available in a replicator, which is kind of crappy. So if you're looking for something specific, you need to be memorizing where it is and what you need to do. That is something that needs to be destroyed.
I've been unable to get in touch with Delacroix. This place is falling apart. Members of my team keep disappearing. The leaks in the vent...
Xerxes has control of the ship's security system. Avoid or destroy any security cameras you see. You can hack security computers to power down the cameras too, if you're good enough.
Thank you.
But don't botch the job, or you'll set off the alarm yourself.
Thank you.
Your corpse is useless to me.
She is very hostile. Now, she also cut us off.
I've been unable to get in touch with Delacroix. This place is falling apart. Members of my team keep disappearing. The leaks in the venting shaft shorted out the primary access channel, and that means we'll all be on auxiliary power until we can get it back up. That means all the lifts are out. Marie, where the hell are you?
Now, for those who get frustrated by me playing logs and just kind of stopping every now and again, that's only really going to happen for maybe the first session or two. After that, it's going to be pretty much free form. They'll continue to play in the background while I go off and do stuff, because I'm trying to explain some of the concepts as I go along. This is the psi pull power. I can see 2 items over here. You can, as far as I'm aware, you can only get them via side pull. You may actually be able to do like a really funky jump over there to catch them, but there are reasons you shouldn't do that unless... Let's pull one of these. Okay, that's armor-piercing bullets. That one is absolutely worth it. This one I'm not going to bother pulling over to me because, economically speaking, it's not worth it. And that sound you heard is a turret trying to hone in on me. Now, yeah, I will take a shot or two coming up here. Which is not a huge deal. Save that. See, this pipe is blocking its line of sight. As soon as I head down into this dip, though, it's got a clear line of sight on me. Let's move on. Okay.
That insipid computer Xerxes has shut down the elevator as well.
Yes, indeed.
You can transfer power at the engine core on deck 1, which will get the elevator up and running again. But you can't use the elevator to get down there. Wait. There's some kind of maintenance access right on this hallway. You can use it to reach deck 1. However, it's locked, and Xerxes is hiding the passcode from me.
Oh, Polito.
Dr. Watts should have the code. He's probably in the crew subsection.
Please stop.
Grassi has the key to get in there, but he's in the medical subsection, probably near the biopsy lab. Now get to the medical subsection and find Grassi.
Alright, we are going to eat some food. Each one of these restores a single HP. There we go. So I'm almost back up at full health, which was 27. 6 cyber modules in the bank. Now the general format of these levels, I'm going to explore each one as soon as I come across them, as much as I can, because enemies have a nasty habit of respawning in pretty much most levels. Only some enemies, not all, but it's enough. Basically, it's a war of attrition completing this game.
Each deck has a chemical storeroom where you can find the resources you need to research the artifacts you'll find around the ship. Don't try to carry around all the chemicals at once. It's impractical and unnecessary. Your research software will tell you what chemicals it needs, and when.
Thank you. She is absolutely correct. Do not carry around this stuff unless you know exactly what you're after. I will probably come back to this at some point. I will need to come back to there to do something, but... Yes, you can die. Now you can see he took 2 hits from cryokinesis. So now's probably a good time to explain the psi powers. Okay, psi powers fall under one of 5 tiers. Each tier, the level of each tier is how many psi points abilities of that psi level cost to cast. So for every cast of cryokinesis, it costs me 1 point of psi. So it cost me 2 psi points to kill that grunt, because I had to use cryokinesis twice. If you take a look at localized pyrokinesis, this is on tier 2, so that means it would cost me 2 points. So basically, 2 points to use cryokinesis to kill this guy versus 2 points to use the localized pyrokinesis. Sorry, cryokinesis versus pyrokinesis. So basically, it's costing me the same amount of psi, with the only difference being if there were more of these guys, it would be more economical for me to use pyrokinesis to kill the lot of them, and he just disappeared. I should have looted that corpse. Should have looted that corpse. That's my fault. He wouldn't have had anything too fantastic, but it's enough. All of the loot is enough. That over there is another Psi-Hypo, which we need. Thank you. Again, we are grabbing all of this stuff. You can drink alcohol. It will restore health, but it drains Psi. And you're probably asking, well, why the hell would you grab it then if it drains Psi? Because we can use it for other stuff later on. Was there something over here that I missed? No, there's not. Alright. This is a trap. These 2 doors here will open and turrets will be readied as soon as I come right into this center area here, so I need to be quick.
This is Xerxes.
There we go.
Remember, the unauthorized usage of firearms aboard the Von Braun.
Alright, he has a bunch of stuff we want. Now, there's an easy way to get around this. I'm going to spend a single point of psi to blast these. I'm not going to bother trying to destroy these turrets. That is a waste of psi. We're going to run past. And we're going to run past here. Doesn't matter if we took a hit. That is perfectly fine. Now, we're going to pop under here, just in case someone else comes through. In fact, we can try and entice someone to come in. You can hear them. I don't know if you can hear them. We seek. We seek. Always love the voice of the many. This is the manifest from the chemical storeroom. You get one of these for every storeroom you come across. Tells you all of the chemicals that are in there and how many of each. You will need to go searching across multiple storerooms to research some of the mutant components. We will be researching, even though we don't have a researching skill. I'll show you how that's done later. Alright, I reckon this guy's in a different sector, so we are not going to worry too much about this. I'm going to put the pyro field back on again. Okay. We are going to pop these items back. Now, this spawn here is the one that respawns the most. Need to keep an eye out for that. Been a few occasions where I've been sorting my inventory stuff out here, and this bugger comes in and interrupts me, and sometimes I can get on top of you real quick. You don't realize. Now, again, these are being sorted because they all have specific functions. I'm going to be using them for specific things. You know what? The speed booster can probably go here, I think. Not going to be using that. I could probably put in the brawn boost, which would increase my strength stat by 1, which would unlock one of these columns here. I'm not really going to bother at this point because there's no need for it. We still have a little bit more to explore on this level. Okay, this part's fun. It's a shame that you can't loot cameras for a bit of scrap or nanites or something. Alright, here we go. And again. Down you go. Now there's another enemy in here. Gotcha. Don't worry about that sound that you're hearing. That's not us getting hurt. Come on, hop. Come on, smash. There we go. And again. Oh boy. Okay, he's got some nanites. Always try and check these bodies out when you can. Now, there is a healing hypo there. Come on, hop. There we go. This little area is a nice little highway to come in. There's a reason for that later on, but for now we're just gonna kick along. Did I pick up another log? I did not. That's excellent. Alright. Let's turn on the lights. Okay, monkey has nothing on him. Always search the mutants if you can. The annelids. In this case, the monkey. Oh, we've got another log. And we got some antitoxin hypos. They will come in handy later on.
Ever since we reached Tau Ceti, the lab monkeys have been acting strangely. Nurse Lesser picked one out of a cage to be brought in for vivisection.
This is the area where we started. This is where we saw the hybrid run past and shoot at the woman.
This wasn't just a random display. It was a protest.
Okay. Before we go any further, there is a guy down here that needs to die. Bye-bye. Okay, there is nothing else in this room, at least as far as I've been able to tell. Pretty sure. One of the other things I love about System Shock is the attention to detail. So, if you haven't heard before, System Shock is built on the Dark Engine, which is the same engine as the Thief games. There are a lot of holdovers in terms of controls and mechanics. Stealth still kind of functions in this game. It is possible to hide in dark areas, and enemies will walk right past you if the area is dark enough, which is a Thief hallmark. I had other thoughts, but then other thoughts crept in. The ladders still function the same way, unfortunately. Not as buggy as the Thief games, I must say that. We don't actually need that. We already got one. You don't need to carry multiple. Grab that. Here's an area we can't reach. Yes, back to my original thought. So because it's built on the the Dark Engine, and we've basically got the same designers, similar designers as the Thief games. They love to stuff things in really obscure places, like, you know, under seats and tucked behind beds and, you know, other cool stuff like that. And everything is appropriately sized too. It's not oversized. So small things will be small and quite easy to miss.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Now, this replicator is a bit more useful to us because it offers psi hypos. Everything else is basically ignorable for us. But look at the cost of the psi hypo, 93 nanites. Look how many nanites we currently have, 110. We could buy one. We could buy one. Now look at our med hypo to psi hypo. 2 to 1. Basically, health is favored over psi. This actually gets more severe as the game goes on. The psi hypos are very hard to come by. And it is absolutely possible to run out of psi hypos pretty early. Now we've already done what our initial task told us to do. Should we have a look in the notes here? We need to recharge the power cell, which we've already done. This is charged now. We need to go back to the door to open medical, which is what we're about to do now. I'm going to drop off a few items so that we can free up some inventory space, and then we will come back. Alright. See if I can drop these right there. There we go. I hope that these don't clip through and disappear. I really need them to stay where they are. Okay. Now what do we like? We've got 8 cyber modules. In order to get the next upgrade on my list, which is I'm going to be upgrading my psi stat. This one here, upgrade it to 4. In order to get that, I need 20 cyber modules. We only have 8. 12 to go, so going to need to do a few more errands before that happens. Now, one of the other things to note too about psi powers is that there's an overcharge bar, which is the yellow part of the bar. I'll show you that here. Yellow part at the end of the charge bar. So you watch, if I hold down the mouse button, it charges. Yellow bar at the end. As soon as the power charges into the yellow section, you need to release. If you let it go all the way to the end, you get psi burnout, which can cause damage to you, and the psi power doesn't trigger. But overpowering psi abilities, it doesn't work for all abilities, but for a lot of abilities you can overcharge them. And overcharging is important because it casts whatever spell you're casting, and yes, I will call them spells. They're basically cool cyber wizard spells. It casts whatever spell you're trying to cast at a +2 psi level. So the way the mechanics work is when I cast a spell, it casts that ability and is amplified in some way based on my psionic stat. So imagine, I've got a level 3 psionic stat, and I cast this in overcharge. So cryokinesis is a perfect example. I cast cryokinesis, a level 1 stat, with a level 3 psionic stat. So I'm casting it at level 3, so that's level 3 damage, plus 2 extra psionic stat points if I overcharge it. So I'm basically casting it as a level 5 psionics spell, or with level 5 psionic stats, if that makes sense. Basically, I'm improving the damage just by overcharging, so why the hell would I not do that? That's really important to do, by the way, overcharging.
You have not disappointed me. Transmitting cybernetic
That was a very
modules.
long-winded way of saying what I said. I do apologize if I've confused everyone. We are now at 12 cyber modules. We need 8 more for our next upgrade. And now we are in medical.
Good. You've managed to get into med. Now find Grossi and get the keycard to the crew sector. He's the one who monitored your cryo sleep, so he might be interested in joining you, if he hasn't been butchered yet.
Alright, there is a thing I want to do before we run out of psi power, and it's a small, silly little thing, but it is something I would like to do, and that's to get into the crew quarters. Yes, we have a guy just around the corner here. I need to get the keycard and get into the crew quarters to get an upgrade before we spend a psi hypo replenishing our psi.
What happened to me? The harmony is disturbed.
Indeed, the harmony is disturbed.
Intruder, the many demands to know your intentions. Are you allied with her? Do you not know of her intentions?
My intentions are to survive.
She wants
Champ.
to destroy us. Intruder, Beta entering medical center.
We took a bit of damage on that, but that's okay. We got a monkey brain. Okay. Alright, those are the things that I wanted to do. Do we have... Alright, we got a medical table here, a surgical unit. I can spend 5 nanites to heal my damage, which is a fair trade. Bang. Out here, we have a turret. He's not happy if he spots me. Hello. Whee! To the point where I cannot walk past this door while it's open, or otherwise I will get hit. Okay, med hypo. All good things. Alright, these things here are information terminals that just basically, they tell you what certain things in the environment do, and they're kind of like an additional tutorial along the way. Okay, there's a psi hypo. That's not what I needed. Let's check out this.
These missions should have been scrubbed before it left Earth. We've been unable to contain the reactant coolant leaks on Deck 1. I've put an order requiring hazard suits down there. I know you think this would cause a panic, but it's better than giving everybody radiation sickness, don't you think?
I do like hazard suits. I could have used Psi-Pull on that, but given that I could just jump across, there's really not much point. A lot of the places that you can use Psi-Pull, you can potentially try and get those items other ways. Having said that, Psi-Pull is a very inexpensive power. None of these will have anything, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing in this room. It is possible that I will miss some cyber modules. I have planned a character build, so I planned where my points are going ahead of time. Hello, there's more.
I can't raise anybody down in engineering. With the lifts out, I'll need to get down there through the emergency conduit in the Psi Annex. I think the access code is in Watts' lab.
Alright.
Angela, while it may appear that the lab monkeys are communicating with each other, I assure you it's quite impossible. You claim that one monkey signed the passcode for a supply closet to another, and the latter proceeded to open it. As I'm sure you know, there have literally been tens of thousands of studies of primate intelligence, and there's no evidence of behavior even remotely that sophisticated. So either you've single-handedly trumped the entire field of animal behaviorists, or you're badly in need of a vacation.
Oh man, I love these logs. Stephen Russell. My man. Alright, this part is kind of tricky.
You might witness some strange phenomena. Your R-grade cyber rig has an experimental perception enhancement that can theoretically detect residual psychic emanations. These emanations traditionally come from the recently dead. Literature might call them ghosts. I call them self-hypnotic defects in the R-grade unit. Don't let it distract you from the job at hand.
Thank you. Okay, this is not necessarily economical, but it is a little bit necessary. We're going to have to dispatch this guy because he's watching the corridor ahead. I could actually get around this guy. I am half tempted to do that. I do need the key card so that I can get into the next area. Again, it's a question of economy. It's not super important, but it is economy. And I'm just that inclined. Indeed. Now, if we come back here, I'm not sure if this will draw him out. It does. It does. Alright. The great thing about this is that we should be able to cast one of these powers. Maybe we can draw them in. Provided you can get close to these guys, you can take them out pretty easily before they cast their powers, like that. Ouch. That hurt. You know what? I can potentially... Let's bust this. Nope, he did it for us. That's where we need to go, by the way. Alright, we don't actually need that brain. I can go. if I go down this path, there will be a couple of shotgunners that will come and grab me. So I'm not going to do that just yet. We will have to confront them because there is something I want to get in there, but... Okay, we've got a med hypo, which is fine. I'm not super fussed about med hypos. We will have a way to get health back soon. Soonish. Beyond that, we have options, is what I'm saying. Okay. We will absolutely grab the stuff in here. And the manifest. Okay, we've got more talkie.
Whose idea was it to bring 150 chimpanzees on board anyway? The interest of science? What about the interest of hygiene? Does anybody have any idea how much crap 150 lab monkeys make in a day? The poor chimps. They come on board for the most historic mission of all time, and they end up being chopped into little pieces in the name of progress.
Okay. Now that we have that good stuff out of the way, come on, hop. There we go. That's right, there's a camera in here. Wait for the camera to reset. It'll make a noise. There it is. Bye-bye. Now there is a hypo here which I'm going to grab. Thank you. Oh, I love the way that just spun my view around. Awesome.
What is a drop of rain compared to the storm?
Alright, key card. Brilliant.
Good work. Here are some more cyber modules. Spend them wisely. They're not easy to locate.
It's full of wonder, which your tiny individualism cannot even conceive.
And that would be a mysterious voice talking to us. I wonder what that could be. Okay, another hackable crate, which is absolutely not hackable for us. Okay, another psi hypo, which is really, really needed early on. There's nothing up here. Let's have a quick look at the stuff we've got. So we've got some bubbly, we've got a couple of potted, a potted plant, we have unresearched monkey brains. I can hear a monkey below us. That was a bug. I should have held onto a ladder. See? What the hell? These things do happen occasionally. It's the first time that's happened for me, but whoa, he just... he knocked himself out. Take that. Take that. Now the reason we aren't going out here is because there's a turret at the end of this corridor. I could jump out there and rush in, but that's also going to spawn in a couple of shotgunner hybrids, which I'm really not a fan of. I could... You know what? I could potentially go out into the hallway and take them out. We have enough. We have enough side power. That being said, I still need to get into these areas here. And they're going to require some anti-radiation stuff. This is going to be tricky. I do want to do this though. Absolutely do want to do this. Okay, let's do this. Let's quickly get back in. Alright, that's all purged. What I'm going to do actually is turn on agility. Try and make things a little bit quicker. Now we're going to purge some of those rads. Let's get out of here. There we go. Coming back under these will purge all of the rads automatically. Okay. Let's cruise on. We're coming up to more of the... I hear something. There we go. There we go. See, he can't see me in the darkness. This is enough darkness that he's not able to spot me. Back he comes. He may leave this area, which works well enough for me. Okay. Let's head down here. It's going to unlock these idiots coming after me. As soon as Xerxes talks. There it is.
This is Xerxes. Why do you persist in your loneliness?
The harmony is
disturbed.
Now, I don't know if they'll spot me here.
No metal.
No, they don't.
we birth.
Okay, we've got 2 of them. There's 1 left. Need to close the distance on this guy very quickly. Get behind him. Okay, cool. Got him. There's a monkey running around here somewhere. Gotcha. Got you too, baby. Alright, cool. The reason I want them dead is because we need something over here. Keeping this pillar in between us and... I don't know if you could see down the end there. That is a turret. We don't want that. Okay, that is what we're after. Some armor. It's only light armor, but it's something. Okay, let's get the ammo out of these weapons, because we don't need to carry these. Eat some food. Not going to replenish psi. Alright, we have a thing in here. Now I can use an anti-radiation hypo coming in. Pretty sure these are empty. Except for this guy. Okay, we've got one of these, we've got one of these. Let's get out of here. Okay. Little bit of a hit. But that's okay. You could actually come in here and heal yourself up there. Actually, you know what? 5 nanites. Sure. Okay. This is what we've come here for.
Good. You've made it into the crew sector. Now find Dr. Watt's room.
Now this bit's a tricky... Okay, I can hear someone coming. They will come in here to investigate that too, by the way. What, she'll open the door, and he comes.
We hear flesh.
Because he's in this room, it's not a bad idea to try and...
Discord.
The Discord is here, friend. Okay, he's just a pipe hybrid. He's not a huge deal. I'll take that, though. There's not much in here, I don't think. Pretty sure I'm not missing anything up here. I'm not a speedrunner, I'm not a completionist, I don't know where everything is. That is making a lot of noise though. Another replicator.
Please make your selection.
Still not the one we need. That, however, is something we will take. I'm gonna grab these. All of the alcohol and stuff can kind of wait here for now. Don't really want to bring that with because it will chew up inventory space pretty damn quick. What we really need though is just out here. This is what we're after. And I need this one, Pharma Friendly, extra 20% benefit from all hypos. Okay, we are gonna pop ourselves into the darkness.
Utility deactivated.
So now that we have... You know, I'm gonna go upstairs. Paranoid. So now that we have the extra benefit for hypos, I'm going to apply it now. Normally these would give you a plus 20 boost, so it'd replenish 20 psi points. Same with meds. Each of these hypos will give you 20 of each, so 20 health versus 20 psi. But because I've got the 20%, this will give me 24, so this should go up to 25. Love to see it. Alright, it's a little extra economy if you can hold off purchasing If you can hold off using any of your psi hypos before you get that ability, it's absolutely worth it, because those +4 add up over a handful of hypos.
Hi there.
Trust me.
Please make your selection.
This is just a regular, we're not going to be able to hack any of this. Now, grenades are good stuff. We won't be using them until very much later, and that may confuse you. I say use loosely. I mean spend. Again, we've got more alcohol here. I will try and come back for some of this stuff, because it will be useful, but it's not useful right now. Okay, what do we got here? Magazine. I will grab that, and I will grab the cigarettes. I'm going to try and leave a little bit of room here so that we've got enough to collect whatever we need to in this area. Now, other than the starting section, I'm also not just going to be opening all of the keycard lock doors, the keycode lock doors that we come across. I think that's it's kind of a bit silly. Even the first one, I debated whether to do that. Really doesn't give us any particular benefit. It's not helpful to this particular build. Just kind of did it as a flex, I guess. But I'm not going to be opening any of these sorts of things where you would only discover the number combination for this pad later in the game. So I'm not going to input anything like that. I haven't looked up any of these codes. I'm just going to find them naturally as we go. What do we got here? We got a lot of stuff. Let's listen to this.
Patient Watson died at 0240 of non-specific causes. Despite zero respiratory and brain function, the body is still displaying autonomous motor function, as does the parasite. At 0847, the patient even spoke to one of the nurses. Autopsy is set for 1630, and then we'll see what makes this Lazarus tick.
That's another Stephen Russell special. Hey, we actually have enough to purchase our next upgrade. Our next upgrade is, of course, the stat upgrade for psionics, so let's go and purchase that now. Alright, this is us here, going from level 3 to 4. Bang. So when we overcharge, we're actually casting at a level of 6 psionic power. So any modifications based on the psi stat are treated as level 6, which is huge. Okay. We had a couple more logs to get through.
Medical tells me they've replicated a whole bunch of rad hypos. I'm gonna pick those up and distribute them to the engineering staff unless anyone gets a better idea. Watts also asked me to check on the replicator in the crew lounge. He says it's a hacker's paradise.
You're goddamn right. Got a couple more.
Since returning from the surface of Tau Ceti 5, the patient has experienced numerous novel phenomena, evidenced by inflammatory nodular growth and the presence of a large worm-like parasite. This morning, the parasite penetrated the subject's chest from the inside and attached one end of itself to the subject's forehead. If I remove it, it could kill the kid. If I leave it... Final diagnosis beats the hell out of me. I'd love to refer this to Medorsky at CDC, but unfortunately he's 67 trillion miles away.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. The annelid worms in particular have always creeped me out in this game. Never been a fan. Icky.
Security system.
Goddamn Bronson and her stupid procedures. She's changed the code on the MedSci 2 sub-armory again. Now I've got to head back up to Deck 4 to find out what it is. Somebody's gonna frag her but good someday.
That last part is so cringe. Somebody's going to frag her but good someday. You can imagine some tight-lipped, uptight, somebody's gonna frag her but good someday. Like, who the hell speaks like this? To be fair, to be completely fair, I know people who speak like this. I've heard of people, I have seen people speak like this. It is not a natural way to speak. Okay. That is basically the first episode. These are going to be shorter and sweeter compared to the Stalker content I've done in the past. I'm going to try and keep these to about an hour long so that they're nice and easy and digestible. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, drop down into comments, let me know what you think. Show me some love, like, subscribe if you haven't already, if you're enjoying long play content from Blondie. Do appreciate it. And until next time.